concept named dynamic handling file system concept. Very, very important concept, that is dynamic handling file system concept. Dynamic handling file system concept. Very, very important concept, that is dynamic handling file system concept. Yesterday we discussed exception handling concept. So already I told you throws. What is throws? How we can handle the throws? We can discuss today. Right, dynamic handling file system concept. So before going to get dynamic handling file system concept, first of all we should know flat file. We should know flat file. What is flat file? It doesn't have any predefined format. Whatever you want, you can write it. There is no restrictions. So that's the reason we can say it is a flat file. Flat file means it doesn't have any predefined format. So example, notepad, comma, text document. Whatever you want, you can write it. That's why we can say flat file. It doesn't have any predefined format. What is dynamic handling file system concept? If you want to create a new file in file system, comma, if you want to write the data into the file in file system, comma, if you want get the data from file in file system, we will use file system concept. If you want to create a new file in file system, if you want to write the data into the file in file system, if you want to get the data from file in file system, we will use file system concept. For that we are using 5 predefined classes. One is file, second one is file writer, buffer writer, file reader, buffer reader. Without going to D drive or E drive or any drive, so through code we can create a new file in file system. We can write the data into the file in file system. We can get the data from file in file system. We will use file system concept. If you want to create a new file in file system, if you want to write the data into the file in file system, if you want to get the data from file in file system, we will use file system concept. For that we are using 5 predefined classes. File. File is used for creating a new file in file system. We can create a new file in file system. File writer, we can write the data into the file. So if you want to write only file writer, we can't write the data into the file system. Compulsory we should take the reference from buffer writer. Then only we can able to write the data into the file system. Whenever we are using buffer reader, then only we can buffer writer. Then only we can write the data into the file in file system. File reader, we can read the data from file system. So if you use file reader, we can't read the data from file system. Compulsory we should use buffer reader. Then only we can able to read the data from file system. So this concept is very, very important. In Selenium, we will use this same logic. Okay. If you write file, we can create the new file. File writer, we can write the data into the file. If you write only file writer, we can't write the data into the file system. Compulsory, we should take the reference from buffer writer. Then only we can write the data into the file system. File reader, only if we write file reader, we can't read the data from file system. Compulsory, we should take the reference from buffer reader. So this is the concept of dynamic handling file system concept. Without going to D drive or E drive, any drive, so direct through code, we can create a new file. We can write the data into the file. We can get the data from file. That concept is called dynamic handling file system concept. Right. Go to concept now. Go to SRC. Take the new class file. Take the spell mistake. Why? Because file is a predefined class. If you take file, it will show you error. So I am taking one class file. Import the increase the size. Preferences, general, appearance, color and fonts, Java, color and font, edit. Actually it is 10. I'm keeping 16. Click on OK. Apply. OK. I'm creating one file. File f equal to new file. I'm giving the path in the D colon Bina, not Bina, Sabi. Sabi dot Excel. No. Divorce. I want to create a file in file system. Which format you want? You can XLS. Oh no, DOC. F dot create new file. It will create the file. File writer fw equal to new file writer. Give the path of the file. Just we can create text file, txt file. File writer fw equal new file writer. No space. Next, if you write only file writer, we can't write the data into the file system. Compulsory, we should take the reference from buffer writer. Copy, control V, buffer writer, bw equal to fw. If we want to write the data into the file, so buffer with the reference of buffer writer only we can write it. Buffer writer write. Hi UK. Next line, I want to move to next line. bw dot new line. If you want to write anything, bw dot by. Right. Compulsory we should write bw dot flush. It can hold the data. Without flush, it cannot hold the data. Flush. Right. Over. I want read the data from file system. Compulsory we should write flush file reader br equal new file reader. Give the path. I want to read the data from file. Only if you write file reader, we can't read the data from file system. Compulsory we should write buffered reader br equal new buffered reader fr. So data is available or not, I want to find out. So that time we will use boolean. Boolean is used for data is available or not. Boolean b equal to br dot ready. Data is available or not. This is not very important in this concept, but in future there is no chance to implement this boolean. So that's the reason. Br is ready or not. Data is available or not. So S for SO control space B. Now I am writing while loop. While BR dot ready string is equal to BR dot read line S. We can create a new file in file system. First concept, we can create a new file in file system, java.io, file writer. We can write the data into the file system, file writer. Buffer writer, file reader, buffer reader. What's wrong? Buffer reader, no, 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 BRA. Throws. We need to add the throws. All exceptions gone. So at a time it can handle the all the exception. It can handle the all the exceptions. So yesterday we discussed, last class we discussed exception handling. So if you want to throws the all the exceptions, we will use throws concept. So here after writing the program, here it is showing how many exceptions: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 exceptions it is showing. Just keep the cursor on any line. Add throws declaration. Exception. IO exception. So it can handle all the exceptions. Save. Click on run. Hi UK, buy it will come. Hi UK, buy it will come. Hi UK, buy it will come. True. Data is there or not. These two lines not very important. So only these two lines is not very important. So data is there or not, it will check. Ready method is used for data is there or not. So if it is data is there, it will give true, otherwise it will give false. So data is there, so it is giving true. Otherwise it will give false. That is the concept of dynamic handling, exception handling concept. Sorry, dynamic handling, exception handling concept is throws. So today concept is dynamic handling file system concept.